She called her a monkey. Right there on the bus. In front of everyone. Phones came out. Cameras started recording. And the woman sitting next to her, young, confident, dressed for success, kept going. You stink. Has nobody told you that before? The older black woman tried to speak, tried to explain, tried to defend her dignity. But the young woman wasn't done. Not even close. And in less than an hour, they would both walk through the same door, into the same building, for the same appointment. And only one of them knew what was waiting on the other side. The number 42 bus was crowded that Tuesday morning. Standing room only. Bodies pressed together. The smell of coffee and perfume, and too many people in too small a space. Evelyn sat by the window, her purse on her lap, watching the city scroll past. She was 63 years old, dressed in a navy blue pantsuit, professional, pressed, elegant. Her silver hair was styled neatly. Her makeup was subtle. She wore pearl earrings that had belonged to her mother. She looked exactly like what she was, a woman who had worked her entire life to build something. A woman who had earned every single thing she had. The seat beside her was empty. For about 3 stops. Then Emily got on. 28 years old. White. Blonde hair pulled back in a sleek ponytail. Wearing a charcoal gray blazer over a white blouse, black pencil skirt. Heels that clicked against the bus floor as she made her way down the aisle. She had a leather portfolio tucked under her arm. Her phone in her other hand. She looked nervous. Excited. The kind of nervous excited that comes from knowing today might change everything. Emily dropped into the seat next to Evelyn without looking at her. Pulled out her phone immediately. Started scrolling. 2 stops. They sat in silence. Then Emily's nose wrinkled. She turned her head slightly. Glanced at Evelyn. Looked away. Shifted in her seat. A minute passed. Emily leaned away from Evelyn. Pressed herself against the aisle armrest like she was trying to create distance. Evelyn noticed. Of course she noticed. When you're 63 and black and a woman, you notice everything. Every glance. Every shift. Every micro-expression that tells you exactly what someone thinks of you. But she said nothing. Just kept looking out the window. Emily pulled her blazer collar up over her nose. Like she was blocking a smell. An older white man across the aisle noticed. Raised his eyebrows. Emily caught his eye. Made a face. Gestured subtly toward Evelyn. The man smirked. Looked away. 2 more stops. Then Emily said it. Not quietly. Not to herself. Out loud. Oh my God. Do you smell that? Several people looked up. Evelyn's hands tightened on her purse. Emily turned to face her directly now. Excuse me. Do you not shower? Because I'm sitting here trying not to gag. The bus got quieter. Not silent, but quieter. The way crowds get when something uncomfortable is happening and people don't know whether to intervene or pretend they don't see it. Evelyn turned slowly to look at Emily. Her face was calm, controlled, but her eyes held something deeper. Hurt, exhaustion, the kind that comes from a lifetime of moments just like this. I beg your pardon. Evelyn's voice was soft, dignified. You heard me. Emily's voice was louder now, emboldened by the audience. You stink. Like, seriously. It's disgusting. Has nobody ever told you that before? Evelyn took a slow breath. Young lady, I assure you, I bathed this morning. As I do every morning. Whatever you think you're smelling. Oh, please. Emily rolled her eyes. Don't gaslight me. Everyone can smell it. You're sitting here smelling like, I don't even know what. Like you haven't washed in days. A teenage girl in the back pulled out her phone. Started recording. Another passenger, a young man near the front, did the same. Evelyn saw the phones. Saw the cameras pointed at her. And something in her chest tightened. I don't appreciate being spoken to this way, Evelyn said quietly. And I don't appreciate having to sit next to someone who clearly doesn't know what soap is. Emily shifted dramatically in her seat, making a show of her discomfort. This is so typical. You people never. You people? Evelyn's voice was sharper now. Still controlled. But sharper. Emily caught herself. Barely. I didn't mean. Look, I'm just saying, basic hygiene is not that hard. If you can't afford. I can afford plenty, Evelyn said. Her voice was ice now. More than you might imagine. Sure. Emily laughed. It was a cruel sound. Performative. She glanced around the bus, looking for validation. A few people looked away. Some kept watching. Whatever helps you sleep at night. The bus pulled to a stop. 2 people got off. New passengers got on. The moment should have ended. But Emily wasn't done. You know what? She turned back to Evelyn, her voice rising. Move. Seriously. Go sit somewhere else. I have an important interview today, and I can't show up smelling like whatever is coming off of you. Evelyn didn't move. Didn't look at Emily. Just stared straight ahead. Did you hear me? Emily's face was flushed now. Angry. Move. Go find another seat, you old. She stopped herself. But everyone heard the word she didn't say. It hung in the air like smoke. Before we continue, can I ask you a question? Where in the world are you watching from? Comment below because we'd love to know how far these stories travel. And hit that subscribe button because we are just getting started. The teenage girl in the back was still recording. So was the young man up front. A woman across the aisle had her phone out now too. Evelyn finally turned to look at Emily. Really look at her. And when she spoke, her voice was soft. Almost gentle. I hope your interview goes well. Emily blinked, thrown by the response. Whatever you're trying to achieve today, Evelyn continued, I hope you get it. I truly do. For just a second, just a flicker, something like shame crossed Emily's face. Then it hardened again. Yeah, well, I will. Because unlike some people, I actually deserve good things. She stood up, grabbed her portfolio, moved to a seat 3 rows back. Evelyn sat alone for the rest of the ride. 15 minutes later, the bus pulled up to the stop on Morrison Avenue. Evelyn gathered her purse, stood, made her way to the front of the bus with the careful dignity of someone who refuses to be broken by cruelty. She stepped down onto the sidewalk. The morning sun was bright, almost aggressive. Behind her, she heard the click of heels on pavement. Emily had gotten off at the same stop. Evelyn started walking, turned right onto Morrison, past the coffee shop, past the dry cleaner, toward the glass building 3 blocks up. Behind her, the clicking heels followed. Evelyn kept her pace steady, didn't look back. 2 blocks. The clicking continued. Then Emily's voice, sharp and accusatory. Are you following me? Evelyn didn't stop walking, didn't turn around. Hey. Emily's voice was louder now. I'm talking to you. Evelyn reached the corner, waited for the light to change. Emily caught up, stood beside her. Too close. This is unbelievable, Emily said. You're actually following me. What? Are you obsessed with me now? Is that it? Evelyn pressed the crosswalk button. Said nothing. This is harassment, Emily continued. Her voice had that edge of someone who's used to wielding words like weapons. I could call the police. Tell them some crazy old woman is stalking me. The light changed. Evelyn crossed the street. Emily followed, still talking. Where are you even going? Do you even have anywhere to be? Or are you just... Oh my God. Emily stopped walking, stared at the building ahead of them. The tall glass structure with Harrison Tech Solutions in steel letters above the entrance. Evelyn kept walking, straight toward the building. Emily hurried to catch up. Wait. Are you going to Harrison Tech? Evelyn reached the front entrance, pulled open the glass door. Emily followed her inside. The lobby was all marble and modern art. A reception desk sat in the center, staffed by a young man in a crisp white shirt. Emily rushed past Evelyn, went straight to the desk. Hi, I'm Emily Carter. I'm here for the 9:30 interview for the senior systems analyst position. The receptionist checked his computer. Yes, Miss Carter. If you'll just sign in here and take a seat, someone will be with you shortly. Emily signed, took a visitor badge, then turned and saw Evelyn approaching the desk. Emily's face twisted into something between confusion and disgust. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. She laughed. Actually laughed. You're here for the interview too? You. Evelyn said nothing. Simply approached the desk. I'm sorry, Emily said to the receptionist, loud enough for others in the lobby to hear. Is there some kind of diversity quota thing happening? Because this is insane. No offense, she glanced at Evelyn. But you're like, what, 100 years old? And you think you're qualified for a senior tech position? The receptionist's expression remained professionally neutral. Ma'am, if you could please take a seat. No, seriously. Emily was on a roll now. The nerves from earlier had transformed into something uglier. Superiority. Contempt. I have a master's degree from Stanford. 5 years of experience at Google. I'm published in 3 industry journals. And they're interviewing you. She looked Evelyn up and down. What are your qualifications? Did you even finish high school? A woman waiting in the lobby looked up from her phone. Uncomfortable. Evelyn walked past Emily to the reception desk. Good morning, James, she said to the receptionist. Her voice was warm, familiar. Good morning, Miss Harrison, James replied with a respectful nod. Your 9 o'clock is here. He glanced at Emily. She's already signed in. Ms. Harrison. The name hit Emily like cold water. Her face went white, then red, then white again. Wait, Emily said. Her voice had changed. Smaller now. Uncertain. What did you just call her? James looked at Emily, then at Evelyn, then back at Emily. His expression was carefully blank. Evelyn signed the logbook, took her employee badge from James. Not a visitor badge, an employee badge with her photo and the word founder/CEO printed underneath. She turned to Emily, smiled. It was not a warm smile. The interview room is on the 3rd floor, Evelyn said. James will show you the way. Then she walked to the elevator, pressed the button. The doors opened immediately. She stepped inside, turned, made eye contact with Emily one last time. The doors closed. Emily stood frozen in the lobby. Her portfolio slipped from her hand, hit the marble floor with a slap that echoed. Ms. Carter. James's voice was gentle, professional. The elevator to the 3rd floor is this way. Emily bent down, picked up her portfolio with shaking hands. Her phone buzzed. A text from her mother. Good luck, baby. We're all praying for you. This is it. Our big break. I love you so much. Emily's throat closed up. Her eyes burned. She followed James to the elevator. The interview room was small. A glass table. 4 chairs. A window overlooking the city. Emily sat alone for 7 minutes. 7 minutes that felt like 7 hours. She couldn't breathe right. Her hands were sweating. She kept replaying the bus ride. The things she'd said. The way she'd said them. The door opened. Evelyn walked in, followed by 2 other people, a man and a woman, both holding tablets. Evelyn sat down across from Emily. The other 2 sat on either side of her. Good morning, Ms. Carter, Evelyn said. Her voice was business professional now. Cool. Detached. I'm Evelyn Harrison, founder and CEO of Harrison Tech Solutions. This is Noah Chun, our head of HR, and Amelia Rodriguez, our chief technology officer. Emily couldn't speak. Her mouth opened. Nothing came out. I've reviewed your resume, Evelyn continued. She had a folder in front of her. Opened it. Emily's resume sat on top, marked with notes in red ink. Stanford, impressive. Google, very impressive. Your publications are excellent. Your references are glowing. She looked up, met Emily's eyes. On paper, you're exactly what we're looking for. Emily's heart was hammering. Maybe she hadn't ruined it. Maybe Evelyn was professional enough to separate. However, Evelyn said, and the word landed like a judge's gavel. This position requires more than technical skills. It requires judgment, emotional intelligence, the ability to treat colleagues and clients with respect, regardless of their background, appearance, or position. Emily's face was burning. We serve a diverse client base, Evelyn continued. Our team is diverse. The person in this role will be interfacing with people from all walks of life. They will be representing this company, our values, our culture. Noah leaned forward. Ms. Carter, can you tell us about a time when you had to work with someone you found difficult? The question was a trap, a gentle one, but a trap. Emily's voice came out as a whisper. I can explain. Can you? Evelyn's voice was sharp now. Can you explain why you thought it was appropriate to verbally assault a stranger on a public bus this morning? Can you explain why you called her dirty? Why you told her she smelled? Why you used the phrase you people? Emily's eyes filled with tears. I didn't mean. What didn't you mean? Evelyn's voice rose slightly. Just slightly. But it cut through the room like a blade. You didn't mean to be cruel? You didn't mean to humiliate someone in front of dozens of witnesses? You didn't mean for it to be recorded and likely already posted online? Oh God. Emily's voice broke. It's online. Amelia pulled out her tablet, turned it around, showed Emily the screen. It was a video, posted to Twitter 40 minutes ago. The caption read, Karen goes off on elderly black woman on bus. Wait for the ending. The video had 60,000 views already. The comments were brutal. Emily's whole body started shaking. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry. I was nervous about the interview, and I don't know what happened. That's not who I am. I swear. Please, I need this job. My mom. We've been struggling for so long, and this was supposed to. Her voice broke completely. She put her face in her hands. Evelyn watched her cry. Her expression didn't change. Noah and Amelia looked at Evelyn, waiting for her cue. Evelyn closed the folder, stood up. We'll be in touch, Ms. Carter. No. Emily stood up too. Please. Please don't do this. I'll do anything. I'll apologize publicly. I'll make a video. I'll tell everyone I was wrong. Please. My family. This job was supposed to change everything for us. My mom is sick. We have medical bills. I've been sending out applications for months, and this was the first real opportunity one got. Please. Please don't take this away from me. Evelyn stopped at the door. Turned back. You took it away from yourself, she said quietly. The moment you decided that your nerves, your stress, your problems gave you the right to treat another human being like garbage. I know I did. And I hate myself for it. Emily's tears were coming hard now. Mascara running. But please give me a chance. I'm a good person. I made a terrible mistake. But I'm not what that video makes me look like. Aren't you? Evelyn's voice was soft, but the question hit like a punch. Emily had no answer. Evelyn looked at her for a long moment. Then at Noah and Amelia. Give us the room, she said. Noah and Amelia stood. Filed out. The door clicked shut behind them. Evelyn and Emily stood alone in the interview room. Sit down, Evelyn said. Emily sat. Evelyn sat across from her. Do you know why I built this company? Evelyn asked. Emily shook her head. Because when I was your age, I couldn't get hired anywhere. I had a degree from MIT, top of my class. But every interview ended the same way. They'd see me walk in, a black woman, and suddenly the position was filled. Or I wasn't quite the right fit. Or they'd gone in a different direction. Evelyn's voice was steady, but there was steel underneath. So I started my own company, and I built it into something worth $200 million. And do you know what I promised myself? Emily didn't answer. I promised myself that if I ever had the power to decide who gets opportunities, I would never make decisions based on what someone looks like, or how old they are, or where they come from. She leaned forward. But I also promised myself I would never hire someone who treats people the way you treated me this morning. I understand, Emily whispered. Do you? Evelyn's eyes were piercing. Do you understand that what you did wasn't just rude? It was dehumanizing. You looked at me and decided I was worth less than you, that I didn't deserve basic respect. And you did it publicly, proudly. You performed your contempt like it was something to be applauded. Emily was crying again, silently now. That video is going to follow you, Evelyn continued. Potential employers will see it. Colleagues, friends, family. Your name is attached to it forever, and you will have to live with that. You will have to answer for it. Again and again and again. I know, Emily said. And I'll deserve it. Every bit of it. They sat in silence for a moment. Then Evelyn stood up, walked to the window, looked out at the city. Your mother is sick? She asked. Cancer, Emily said quietly. Stage 3. We don't have insurance. The bills they're destroying us. More silence. The position you applied for is filled, Evelyn said finally. We're not hiring you for it. Emily nodded. Fresh tears. However, Evelyn turned around. We have an opening in our customer service department. Entry level. It pays $40,000 a year. Benefits included. Health insurance. Dental. Vision. Emily's head snapped up. It's not glamorous, Evelyn continued. You'll be answering phones, dealing with frustrated clients, solving problems, and you will be required to treat every single person who contacts you with respect and professionalism. No exceptions, no matter how they speak to you, no matter what kind of day you're having. I'll do it, Emily said immediately. You'll also make a public apology video. Not because I'm forcing you, but because you need to own what you did. You need to look into a camera and tell the truth about why what you said was wrong. And then you need to live with whatever response you get. Okay, yes, I'll do it. And, Evelyn said, her voice harder now, if I ever, and I mean ever, hear that you've treated anyone the way you treated me, you're done. Not just at this company. I will make sure every tech firm in this city knows exactly what kind of person you are. Do you understand? Yes. Yes, I understand. Evelyn walked back to the table, pulled out a business card, wrote something on the back, handed it to Emily. Noah's extension. Call him this afternoon. He'll get you set up with HR for onboarding. Emily took the card with shaking hands, stared at it like it was a miracle. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you so much. I swear I won't let you down. I swear. Don't thank me, Evelyn said. Prove it. She walked to the door, opened it, paused. And Ms. Carter? Yes. I do shower every morning. I use lavender soap. I don't smell. What you smelled this morning was your own prejudice. She left. Emily sat alone in the interview room for a long time. Emily didn't go home right away. She sat in a coffee shop 3 blocks from Harrison Tech, her untouched latte going cold, staring at her phone. The video had exploded. 200,000 views now. Retweets in the thousands. Comments pouring in faster than she could read them. This is why we can't have nice things. White privilege on full display. She really said, "You people," and thought she was doing something. The entitlement. The audacity. I hope she never gets hired anywhere. Someone find out where she works and get her fired. Update. She was interviewing at Harrison Tech. The woman she insulted OWNS the company LMOO Karma is real. That last one had 15,000 likes. Someone had figured it out. Had connected the dots. Screenshots from LinkedIn. Photos of Evelyn from the company website. Side-by-side comparisons. The story was taking on a life of its own. Emily's phone rang. Her mother. She let it go to voicemail. Couldn't bear to hear the hope in her mother's voice. Not yet. A text came through instead. "Baby, how did it go? Did you get it? I'm praying so hard. Love you." Emily's vision blurred. She put the phone face down on the table. A woman at the next table was watching her. Emily caught her eye. The woman looked away quickly, but not before Emily saw the recognition. The judgment. She knows, Emily thought. She's seen the video. Emily grabbed her things and left. She made it home by noon. The apartment was small. A 1-bedroom in a building that should have been condemned years ago. Peeling paint. A kitchen with appliances from the 80s. A bathroom where the toilet ran constantly and the shower pressure was a joke. But it was home. Or it had been. Emily's mother, Abigail, was on the couch, wrapped in a blanket despite the warmth of the day. She'd lost weight. A lot of weight. The chemotherapy had stolen her appetite, her energy, her hair. But when she saw Emily, her face lit up. There she is. My superstar. Abigail tried to sit up. Grimaced. Settled back. Tell me everything. How did it go? Did they love you? Of course they loved you. Emily stood in the doorway. Her throat closed. Baby. Abigail's smile faltered. What's wrong? I didn't get it. The words came out flat. Dead. Abigail's face fell. Oh, honey. Oh, no. I'm so sorry. But you know what? It's their loss. You're brilliant. Something better will come along. Mom. Don't give up. I know how hard you've been working. How many applications you've sent. But the right opportunity is out there. I know it is. Mom, there's something I need to tell you. Abigail looked at her daughter. Really looked. And something in Emily's face made her go very still. What happened? Emily sat down, pulled out her phone, handed it to her mother without a word. Abigail watched the video. Emily watched her mother's face. Watched the confusion turn to shock, turn to horror, turn to something worse than anger. Disappointment. When the video ended, Abigail set the phone down carefully, like it might explode. That's you, she said quietly. Yes. On the bus this morning. Yes. Talking to that woman like, Abigail's voice broke. Emily, what were you thinking? I wasn't. I was nervous about the interview, and I snapped. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. You called her. Abigail couldn't even say it. Baby, how could you? I know. I know it was wrong. I know Emily's voice cracked. Mom, she owns the company. Abigail stared. What? The woman on the bus. She's Evelyn Harrison. She owns Harrison Tech. She was my interviewer. The silence that followed was deafening. Abigail closed her eyes, took a shaky breath. When she opened them again, there were tears. So you didn't just ruin the interview. You ruined any chance you ever had of working in this city. She's giving me a chance. Abigail's head snapped up. What? A different position. Customer service. Entry level. But it comes with benefits. Health insurance. For a moment, just a moment, hope flickered across Abigail's face. Then she looked at the phone again. At the video. At the comments. At what cost? She asked quietly. I have to make an apology video. Post it publicly. On what I did. You should. You absolutely should. Abigail's voice was firmer now. Not because she's making you, but because it's right. Because what you did was, she shook her head. I didn't raise you to talk to people like that. I didn't raise you to think you were better than anyone. I don't think that. I swear I don't. Then why did you do it? Abigail's voice rose. Why did you look at that woman and decide she deserved to be humiliated? What was going through your head? I don't know. Emily was crying now. I don't know, Mom. I was stressed and scared and I took it out on her. and I can't take it back. I can't undo it. No, you can't. Abigail's voice was cold now, distant. You're going to have to live with this. With knowing that in your worst moment, when you were under pressure, you chose cruelty. You chose to hurt someone who did nothing to you. I know. And that video? It's forever. 20 years from now, someone could Google your name and find it. Your future children could see it. Your husband. Your friends. Everyone will know. I know, Mom. I know. They sat in silence. Finally, Abigail spoke. You're going to make that apology video. Tonight. And you're going to mean every word. And then you're going to take that job, and you're going to be grateful for it. And you're going to prove to that woman, and to yourself, that you're better than what that video shows. Okay. And Emily? Yeah. If you ever, and I mean ever, treat another person like that again, don't bother coming home. Because I didn't work 3 jobs to put you through school just so you could grow up to be the kind of person who calls someone a monkey. The word hung between them like a ghost. Emily nodded. Couldn't speak. Abigail stood up. Slowly, painfully, walked to her bedroom, closed the door. Emily sat alone on the couch. Her phone buzzed. A notification from Twitter. Someone had tagged her. She didn't look. Didn't need to. She knew what they were saying. That evening, Emily set up her phone on a stack of books. Positioned herself in front of the plain white wall in her bedroom. Checked the lighting. Checked the frame. She'd rewritten the script in her head a dozen times. Knew what she needed to say, how she needed to say it. But when she hit record, all the prepared words disappeared. She just sat there, looking at the camera, at herself in the small preview screen. And she started crying before she even spoke. My name is Emily Carter. And I'm the woman from the bus video. Her voice was shaking. She forced herself to continue. I'm not going to make excuses. I'm not going to explain away what I did. Because there is no excuse. No explanation that makes it okay. She wiped her eyes. Took a breath. I saw a black woman sitting next to me on the bus. And I decided, without any reason, without any justification, that she was less than me. That she didn't deserve respect. That I could say whatever I wanted to her because her voice cracked. Because I thought I was better than her. She looked down, then forced herself to look back at the camera. I called her names. I told her she smelled. I humiliated her in front of dozens of people. And the worst part? I felt justified doing it. In that moment, I genuinely believed I was in the right. And that's what scares me most. Emily's hands were shaking now. The woman's name is Evelyn Harrison. She's the founder and CEO of a tech company worth millions. She has a degree from MIT. She's built an empire. And I looked at her and saw nothing but someone to demean. She paused, steadied herself. I'm making this video because Ms. Harrison gave me a second chance I don't deserve. She offered me a job after I treated her like dirt. And I want everyone to understand. I'm not the victim here. I'm not the one who deserves sympathy. She is. And everyone like her who has to deal with people like me every single day. Emily's voice got stronger now. If you're watching this and you've ever done something similar, if you've ever let your stress or your fear or your nerves turn into cruelty towards someone who doesn't look like you, stop. Just stop. Because you're not just hurting them. You're revealing something ugly about yourself. Something that no amount of education or success or good intentions can cover up. She took a breath. I don't expect forgiveness. From Ms. Harrison or from anyone watching this. I just want to own what I did. Completely. Without reservation. I was wrong. I was cruel. And I'm sorry. She reached forward and stopped the recording. Then she watched it back. Twice. It wasn't perfect. She was crying through most of it. Her voice wavered. But it was honest. Raw. She posted it to Twitter. To Instagram. To Facebook. Then she put her phone on airplane mode and went to bed. The video went viral faster than the original. By morning, it had 2 million views. The response was mixed. Some people praised her for taking accountability. For not making excuses. For being vulnerable. Others said it was performative. That she was only apologizing because she got caught. That no apology could undo the damage. A few said she should lose the job anyway. That one apology video didn't erase racism. Emily didn't respond to any of it. Just let it wash over her like a wave she couldn't control. On Thursday, she called Noah at Harrison Tech. Ms. Carter, he said when he picked up. His voice was professional. Neutral. I've been expecting your call. Is the offer still on the table? Emily asked. She was surprised by how steady her voice sounded. It is. Ms. Harrison is a woman of her word. When can I start? Monday, 9 a.m. Bring 2 forms of ID and your social security card for the I-9. HR will have your benefits packet ready. Okay, thank you. Ms. Carter. Yes, I watched your video. Emily's stomach dropped. And I hope you meant it. I did. I do. Good. Because you'll be working directly with our clients, many of whom are people of color. If there's even a hint of the behavior from that bus, there won't be. I swear. See you Monday. He hung up. Emily sat with the phone in her hand for a long time. Then she went to tell her mother. Monday morning came too fast and not fast enough. Emily stood outside Harrison Tech at 8:45, wearing a simple black dress and flats. Her hair was pulled back. Minimal makeup. She looked professional. Subdued. She felt like she was walking to her own execution. The lobby was busy. People coming and going. Conversations echoing off the marble. Emily approached the reception desk. A different person than before, a young woman with dark hair and kind eyes. Hi, I'm Emily Carter. First day, customer service. The woman smiled. Welcome. Let me get your badge printed. 1 second. She disappeared into a back room. Returned with a laminated badge. Emily Carter, customer service representative. Emily clipped it to her dress. The weight of it felt significant. Noah is expecting you. 3rd floor. Suite 310. Thank you. Emily took the elevator. Watched the numbers climb. Her heart was pounding. The doors opened. Suite 310 was at the end of the hall. Noah was waiting outside the door. Tall. Asian. Mid-40s. Wearing a crisp suit and a patient expression. Ms. Carter. Welcome. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank Ms. Harrison. She's the one who fought for it. He opened the door. Led her into an open office space. Cubicles lined up in neat rows. The sound of keyboards clicking. Phone conversations. The low hum of productivity. This is customer service. 23 people on the team. You'll be starting on phone support. Your supervisor is Benjamin. He'll get you set up with training. A man approached. White. Maybe 30. Friendly face. Emily? Hi. I'm Benjamin. Welcome to the team. He shook her hand. His grip was firm but not aggressive. I'll take it from here, Benjamin said to Noah. Noah nodded. Looked at Emily. Good luck. He left. Benjamin led Emily to a cubicle in the back corner. This is yours. Computer's all set up. Headset is there. Training modules are queued up. You'll spend today and tomorrow on training. Then you'll start taking calls on Wednesday. Okay. Also, Benjamin's voice dropped slightly. I saw the video. Both of them. Emily's stomach clenched. I'm not here to judge you. Everyone on this team knows why you're here. And honestly, most of them respect that you owned it. That you didn't make excuses. He paused. But Emily, this is your one shot. You understand that. I do. Good. Then let's get to work. The first week was brutal. Not because the job was hard. The training was straightforward. Answer the phone. Listen to the problem. Find the solution. Be polite. Be professional. Be patient. But every interaction felt loaded. Every time a black client called, Emily felt their eyes on her even though they couldn't see her. Every time she had to be patient with someone being rude, she remembered the bus. The things she'd said. The way she'd said them. And every day, she saw Evelyn. Not up close. Not speaking to her. But passing in the hallways. In the elevator. Through the glass walls of conference rooms. Evelyn never acknowledged her. Never made eye contact. Just moved through the building like Emily didn't exist. And somehow that was worse than anger. Worse than confrontation. It was indifference. Emily had been erased. 3 weeks in, Emily was at her desk when Benjamin appeared. Conference room 2. 5 minutes. Miss Harrison wants to see you. Emily's blood ran cold. Did I do something wrong? I don't know. She didn't say. Emily stood on shaking legs. Made her way to conference room 2. Evelyn was already inside. Sitting at the head of the table. Reading something on her tablet. Emily knocked softly on the open door. Come in. Close the door. Emily obeyed. Sat down in the chair across from Evelyn. For a long moment, Evelyn didn't look up. Just kept reading. Finally, she set the tablet down. How are you finding the work? It's good. I'm grateful for the opportunity. That's not what I asked. Emily paused. It's challenging, but in a good way. I'm learning a lot. Evelyn nodded. Benjamin says you're doing well. Professional. Patient. No complaints from clients. I'm trying. I know. Evelyn leaned back in her chair. I've been getting messages. About you. About the video. Emily's heart sank. What kind of messages? Some people think I shouldn't have hired you, that I'm sending the wrong message, that racism should have consequences, not second chances. I understand if you need to. I'm not firing you. Emily blinked. You're not. No, because I don't believe people are irredeemable. I believe they can learn, change, become better. Evelyn's eyes were piercing. But I also believe that change requires discomfort. It requires sitting with your shame, confronting what you did, and choosing, every single day, to be different. I am. I'm trying. I know. And that's why you're still here. Evelyn stood up, walked to the window. When I was 28, I made a mistake. Not like yours, but a mistake that hurt someone. And a woman I'd never met before gave me a chance I didn't deserve. Told me that grace wasn't the same as permission, that she was giving me space to grow, but the growing was my responsibility. She turned back to Emily. I'm giving you that same space. But understand this, you're not here because you deserve it. You're here because I believe in second chances, and because I refuse to let what you did define my response. I will not become bitter or vindictive because of your cruelty. I will remain who I am. Emily's eyes were wet. Thank you. Don't thank me. Prove me right. Evelyn picked up her tablet, started to leave. Then she stopped at the door. And Emily? Yes. Your mother's treatment. The bills. HR is setting up a payment plan with the hospital. We'll cover 60%. The insurance covers the rest. It's part of your benefits package. Emily couldn't speak. You're not the only one who needed this job, Evelyn said softly. I knew that when I made the offer. And despite everything, despite what you did, I couldn't let your mother suffer because of your mistakes. She left. Emily sat alone in the conference room and cried. Not from shame this time. From something else. Something that felt like hope. 6 months passed. Emily became good at her job. Better than good. She started exceeding her metrics. Highest customer satisfaction scores on the team. Fastest resolution times. Lowest escalation rate. Benjamin pulled her aside one day in November. You're doing great work, he said. Really great. I'm recommending you for a promotion. Team lead position. Opens up in January. Emily was surprised. Already. You've earned it. The team likes you. Clients like you. And more importantly, you've grown. I can see it. Thank you. That means a lot. Don't thank me yet. Final approval comes from Ms. Harrison. Emily's stomach tightened. Of course. She didn't know if Evelyn would approve it. Didn't know if 6 months was enough time to prove she'd changed. Didn't know if any amount of time would be enough. The holidays came. Emily's mother was doing better. Not cured. Cancer doesn't work that way, but stable. The treatments were working. She'd gained back some weight. Had more energy. Could walk to the kitchen without getting winded. On Christmas Eve, Emily and Abigail sat in their small apartment, drinking hot chocolate and watching old movies. I'm proud of you, Abigail said quietly during a commercial break. Emily looked at her mother. For what? For doing the work. For not giving up when it got hard. For choosing to be better. Abigail reached over and squeezed her hand. I know these past 6 months haven't been easy. I know you've had to face things about yourself that were painful. But you did it. And I'm proud. Emily felt tears prick her eyes. I'm sorry I put you through that. The video. The embarrassment. I was angry, Abigail admitted. I was so angry. But I was also scared. Scared that I'd failed you somehow. That I'd raised someone who could be cruel like that. You didn't fail me, Mom. I failed myself. Maybe. But you're fixing it. That's what matters. Abigail smiled. And Ms. Harrison, she's a remarkable woman. To show you that kind of grace after what you did? That's rare. I know. You know what you need to do, right? Emily looked at her mother. What? Thank her. Really thank her. Not just with words. With action. With who you choose to be from here on out. Emily nodded. I'm trying. I know you are, baby. And it shows. They sat in comfortable silence, watching the movie, holding hands. Outside, snow began to fall. Rare for their city. Almost magical. For the first time in months, Emily felt something close to peace. In January, Emily was called into Evelyn's office. Not a conference room this time. Evelyn's actual office. 10th floor. Corner suite. Windows overlooking the entire city. Emily had never been up here before. She knocked. Evelyn's assistant, a cheerful woman named Harper, waved her in. She's expecting you. Emily entered. The office was elegant, but not ostentatious. Clean lines. Modern furniture. Bookshelves filled with technical manuals and leadership books. A few framed photos on the desk. Family, Emily assumed, though she didn't look too closely. Evelyn was standing by the window, hands clasped behind her back, looking out at the city. "Sit," she said without turning around. Emily sat. For a long moment, Evelyn didn't speak, just stood there, watching the city below. Finally, she turned around. "Benjamin recommended you for team lead." "Yes, ma'am. He says you're ready, that you've proven yourself." "I hope so." Evelyn walked to her desk, sat down, folded her hands. "Do you think you're ready?" Emily considered the question carefully. "I think I've learned a lot in the past 6 months. About the job, about myself, about how to treat people." "That's not what I asked." Emily took a breath. "I don't know if I'm ready, but I want to be, and I'm willing to keep working until I am." Evelyn studied her. "When I hired you, I told you that this was your one chance, that if you ever treated anyone the way you treated me, you'd be done." "I remember." "Have you treated anyone like that?" "No, ma'am. Not once." "Why not?" The question caught Emily off guard. "Because it's wrong. Because people deserve better. Because—" she paused, searching for the right words. "Because I know what it feels like now. To be judged. To be reduced to your worst moment. And I don't want to make anyone else feel that way." Evelyn nodded slowly. "Good answer." She opened a drawer, pulled out a folder, slid it across the desk. "Promotion paperwork. Effective February 1st. Salary increase. New responsibilities. You'll be managing a team of 6. Emily stared at the folder. Didn't touch it. "Are you sure?" "I don't make offers I'm not sure about. But after everything, you've shown me who you can be when you choose growth over pride. When you choose accountability over defensiveness. When you choose grace toward others the way grace was shown to you." Evelyn's voice was firm but not unkind. "That's the person I'm promoting. Not the person from the bus. Not the person who made a video apology because she had to. The person who showed up every day and did the work of becoming better." Emily's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you. Thank you so much. Sign the papers. Give them to Harper." And Emily, "Yes. Don't make me regret this." "I won't. I promise." Evelyn smiled. It was small, but it was real. "I believe you." That evening, Emily called her mother from the parking lot. "I got it. The promotion. Team lead. $20,000 raise." Abigail screamed. Actually screamed. "Oh my God, baby. I'm so proud of you. I couldn't have done it without you. Without Miss Harrison. Without—" Emily's voice broke. "Without being given a chance I didn't deserve. You earned it, Emily. By choosing to be better. That's all any of us can do." They talked for another 20 minutes. Made plans to celebrate. Cried together. Laughed together. When Emily finally hung up, she sat in her car, staring at the Harrison Tech building through her windshield. The lights were still on in some of the offices, including, she noticed, the corner office on the 10th floor. Evelyn was still working. Emily wondered what she was working on. Wondered what it was like to build something from nothing. To face rejection after rejection and still keep going. To become successful enough that you could show grace to someone who didn't deserve it. She wondered if she could ever be that strong. February brought changes. Emily stepped into her new role. Led her first team meeting. Made her first scheduling decisions. Handled her first performance reviews. It was harder than she expected. Management wasn't just about technical skills. It was about people. About understanding what motivated them. What scared them. How to push them to grow without breaking them. She thought about Evelyn a lot during those first few weeks. About how she'd handled Emily. The balance between accountability and grace. Between consequences and second chances. Emily tried to lead the same way. One of her team members, a young black woman named Amelia, was struggling with a difficult client. The client had been rude, dismissive, had questioned Amelia's competence based on how she sounded on the phone. Emily pulled Amelia aside after the call. "I heard that. Are you okay?" Amelia's jaw was tight. "I'm fine." "You don't sound fine." "What do you want me to say? That it sucks? That I'm tired of people assuming I'm stupid because of how I talk?" "Yeah, I'm tired. But that's the job, right? Smile and take it." Emily felt something twist in her chest. Recognition. Shame. "That client was wrong," Emily said firmly. "The way they spoke to you was unacceptable, and you don't have to just take it." "Then what am I supposed to do?" "You escalate it to me. That's what I'm here for. To have your back." Amelia looked surprised. "Really? Really? I'm going to call that client back. I'm going to explain to them that we don't tolerate disrespect toward our team members. And if they can't treat you with basic decency, they can take their business elsewhere." You do that? Absolutely. Emily paused. Amelia, can I tell you something? Okay. A year ago, I was that client. Maybe worse. I said things to someone, a black woman, that I can never take back. Things that still haunt me. And I didn't think twice about it because I didn't see her as fully human. I saw her as, Emily's voice caught, as less than me. And I was wrong. Completely, utterly wrong. Amelia was quiet. I can't change what I did, Emily continued. But I can make sure that in my little corner of the world, people like you don't have to deal with that kind of treatment. Not on my watch. Amelia's expression softened. I saw your video. The apology one. Emily's stomach dropped. You did? Yeah. I wasn't sure how I felt about it at first. Seemed like maybe you were just trying to save face. Amelia paused. But working with you these past few weeks, I think you meant it. I think you really are trying to be different. I am. Every day. Then yeah. Call that client. Tell them how it is. Emily smiled. Consider it done. She made the call that afternoon. Politely but firmly informed the client that disrespect toward team members would not be tolerated. The client complained. Threatened to leave. Emily wished them well and ended the call. Amelia watched the whole thing from her cubicle. When Emily hung up, Amelia mouthed 2 words. Thank you. Emily nodded. It wasn't redemption. Not fully. But it was something. It was growth. March brought an unexpected visitor. Emily was in her office. She had an office now, small but hers, when Harper knocked on the door. You have a guest. Says she knows you. Emily looked up. Who? Harper stepped aside. A woman walked in. White. Maybe 40. Wearing jeans and a sweater. She looked nervous. It took Emily a moment to place her. Then it clicked. The woman from the bus. The one with the coffee cup. The one who'd laughed. Emily stood up slowly. Can I help you? The woman twisted her hands together. I'm Charlotte. I don't know if you remember me. I remember. Charlotte nodded. I was on the bus. That day, I was one of the people who laughed. Emily didn't say anything. Just waited. I saw your apology video, Charlotte continued. And I've been thinking about it for months. About my part in what happened. How I didn't say anything. How I laughed like it was funny. Like that woman, Miss Harrison, like she deserved to be treated that way. Why are you here? Emily's voice was careful, controlled. Because I need to apologize. To you. To her. To anyone who'll listen. Charlotte's voice cracked. I was a bystander. I let it happen. And that makes me complicit. You want to apologize to Miss Harrison? If she'll see me. I know I don't deserve. She's busy. Charlotte's face fell. I understand. I needed to try. Emily studied her. Saw genuine remorse. Genuine shame. She picked up her phone. Called Harper. Is Ms. Harrison available for a brief meeting? She has 15 minutes before her next call. Can you ask if she'll see someone? A woman named Charlotte. It's about the bus incident. A pause. Then Harper came back on the line. She says 5 minutes. Conference room 2. Emily hung up. Looked at Charlotte. You have 5 minutes. Don't waste them. Emily walked Charlotte to conference room 2. Knocked. Evelyn's voice called out. Come in. They entered. Evelyn was standing by the window again. Seemed to be her preferred position. She turned. Saw Charlotte. Her expression didn't change. You have 5 minutes. Charlotte stepped forward. Miss Harrison, my name is Charlotte Chun. I was on the bus that day. I was one of the people who laughed. And I've come to apologize. Evelyn crossed her arms. Go on. I should have said something. Should have told Emily, Miss Carter, that what she was doing was wrong. Should have stood up for you. But I didn't. I just laughed. Like it was entertainment. Like your pain was something to enjoy. Charlotte's voice was shaking now. And I'm ashamed. I'm so ashamed. I've been carrying this for almost a year, and I needed to tell you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Evelyn was quiet for a long moment. Then she said, Why now? Why wait almost a year? Because I was a coward. Because it was easier to pretend I wasn't part of the problem. But I was. I am. And I don't want to be that person anymore. Evelyn walked to the table. Sat down. Gestured for Charlotte to sit. Charlotte sat. Emily stayed, standing by the door. Do you know why silence is violence? Evelyn asked. Charlotte shook her head. Because when you witness injustice and say nothing, you're telling the victim that their pain doesn't matter. That they're not worth defending. That the person causing harm has more right to comfort than the person being harmed. Evelyn's voice was steady. Measured. Your laughter wasn't just cruel. It was permission. It told Emily that what she was doing was acceptable. Expected, even. I know, and I can't take it back. But I can do better going forward. Can you? Evelyn leaned forward. Because doing better isn't just about private guilt. It's about public action. It's about speaking up next time. Every time. Even when it's uncomfortable. Even when it costs you something. I will. I swear I will. Evelyn studied her. Then nodded. I accept your apology. Not because I have to, but because I choose to. Because holding on to anger serves no one. And because I'd rather believe people can change than assume they can't. Charlotte started crying. Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't thank me. Prove it. The same way Emily has. Charlotte looked at Emily. Then back at Evelyn. Can I ask you something? What? How do you do it? How do you show grace to people who don't deserve it? Evelyn smiled. It was sad. Knowing. Because someone showed it to me once. And because the world needs more grace, not less. And because, she looked at Emily. Because sometimes the person who hurt you becomes the person who changes because of how you responded to their hurt. Charlotte nodded. Stood. I won't take up any more of your time. She left. Emily started to follow. Emily, Evelyn called. Stay for a moment. Emily turned back. Evelyn stood. Walked over to her. You handled that well. Bringing her to me instead of turning her away. She seemed genuine. She was. And you recognized that. Chose compassion over judgment. Evelyn paused. That's leadership. I learned from the best. Evelyn smiled. A real smile this time. Warm. You're going to be just fine, Emily. Better than fine. I hope so. I know so. Evelyn turned to leave, then stopped. Oh, and Emily? Yes. I'm sorry too. Emily blinked. For what? For not seeing you as fully human that day in the interview. For being so focused on your mistake that I almost missed your potential for growth. For letting my hurt turn into coldness instead of reaching for grace sooner. Evelyn's eyes were soft now. We all have growing to do. Even me. She left before Emily could respond. Emily stood alone in the conference room. And she realized something. Forgiveness wasn't just about the person being forgiven. It was about the person doing the forgiving. It was about refusing to let someone else's worst moment turn you into your worst self. It was about choosing hope over bitterness. Growth over revenge. Love over hate. Every single day, a year after the bus incident, Emily got another promotion. Director of Customer Experience. She now oversaw 3 teams. 23 people total. A budget in the 6 figures. Real responsibility. Real impact. Her mother was in remission. The bills were manageable. They'd moved to a better apartment. Nothing fancy, but clean. Safe. With working appliances and water pressure that actually worked. Emily had started volunteering. Teaching customer service skills at a community center. Mentoring young women trying to break into tech. She'd even gone back to therapy. Working through the deeper stuff. The insecurities. The prejudices she didn't know she had. The ways her privilege had blinded her to other people's pain. It was hard work. The hardest she'd ever done. But it was worth it. On the 1-year anniversary of the bus incident, Emily was sitting in her office when a package arrived. From Evelyn. Inside was a book. The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. And a handwritten note on Harrison Tech letterhead. Emily, a year ago, I sat across from you in an interview room and saw someone at their worst. Today, I see someone at their best. Not because you're perfect, but because you chose growth over defensiveness, accountability over excuses, and grace toward others the way grace was shown to you. You've become the kind of leader I hoped you could be. The kind of person I knew you had the potential to become. Thank you for proving me right. Keep growing. Keep learning. Keep choosing to be better. With respect and genuine pride. Evelyn. Emily read the note 3 times. Then she cried. Not from shame this time. Not from regret. From gratitude. For the chance she was given. For the growth she'd chosen. For the woman who saw her potential even when she couldn't see it herself. 2 years later, Emily was invited to speak at a local university. A class on business ethics. The professor had seen her story. Thought her perspective would be valuable. Emily almost said no. The thought of standing in front of a room full of people and talking about the worst thing she'd ever done made her want to crawl out of her skin. But then she thought about Evelyn. About grace. About the responsibility that came with second chances. She said yes. The classroom was packed. 50 students. All of them young. All of them watching her with curious, judgmental eyes. Emily stood at the front of the room. Took a breath. My name is Emily Carter. And 3 years ago, I went viral for being racist on a bus. She told them the whole story. The bus, the interview, the apology, the second chance, the growth. She didn't sugarcoat it, didn't try to make herself look better than she was. When she finished, hands shot up immediately. Do you think you deserved a second chance? No, but I'm grateful I got one anyway. Do you think your apology video was enough? No. Apologies are just words. The real work is in changing who you are every single day after. What would you say to someone who thinks you shouldn't have been hired? Emily paused. I'd say they're right to be skeptical. I'd say I understand their anger. And I'd say that grace isn't about what someone deserves. It's about choosing to believe they can become better, and then holding them accountable to that belief. A young black woman in the front row raised her hand. What would you say to someone who's been on the receiving end of what you did? Someone who's been called names, humiliated, treated like they're less than human. Emily looked at her, really looked at her. I'd say I'm sorry, not just for what I did, but for what people like me have done to people like you for generations. I'd say you deserve better. You deserve to exist in the world without being subjected to cruelty. And I'd say, her voice caught, I'd say I hope you can find it in yourself to believe that people can change. Not because you owe us that belief, but because holding on to that possibility might be the thing that keeps you from becoming bitter, from letting our cruelty turn you cruel. The room was silent. Then someone started clapping. Then another person. Then the whole room. It wasn't forgiveness. It wasn't absolution. But it was acknowledgement. It was witness. It was the beginning of something that might, someday, look like healing. 5 years after the bus incident, Emily was named Vice President of Human Resources at Harrison Tech. She sat in her new office, a real office, with windows and space and a door that closed, and thought about how far she'd come. From the woman on the bus to this. From cruelty to compassion. From judgment to grace. It wasn't a straight line. There were still bad days. Days when she caught herself making assumptions. Days when she had to actively choose to be better instead of falling back into old patterns. But those days were getting rarer, and the person she was becoming, thoughtful, humble, kind, was someone she was starting to recognize in the mirror. Someone she was starting to be proud of. Evelyn retired that same year. At her retirement party, she gave a speech. Talked about building the company. About the challenges she'd faced. About the people who'd helped her along the way. And then she said something that made Emily cry. The greatest joy of my career hasn't been the success. It's been watching people grow. Watching them become better versions of themselves. Watching them choose grace over bitterness. Growth over stagnation. Love over hate. She looked at Emily. Some of you in this room know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm so proud of you. After the party, Emily pulled Evelyn aside. Thank you, Emily said. For everything. For the second chance. For believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. For showing me what grace looks like. Evelyn smiled. You don't need to thank me. Yes, I do. You changed my life. No. Evelyn shook her head. You changed your life. I just opened the door. You're the one who walked through it. They hugged, long and tight. When they pulled apart, Evelyn said, promise me something. Anything. Promise me you'll pay it forward. That when you see someone at their worst, someone who's made a terrible mistake, you'll remember this moment. Remember what grace looked like when it was given to you. And offer it to them. I promise. Good. Evelyn squeezed her hand. That's all any of us can do. Pass it on. 10 years after the bus incident, the video was still online. It would always be online. That's how the internet works. Nothing ever really disappears. But when Emily's name was searched now, the video wasn't the first thing that came up. The first thing was an article from Forbes, How Emily Carter Built a Culture of Accountability and Grace at Harrison Tech. The second was a TED Talk she'd given about second chances and growth. The third was her company bio, Emily Carter, Chief Human Resources Officer, Harrison Tech Solutions. The video was there. Fifth or sixth result. A reminder of who she'd been, but not the sum total of who she'd become. Emily had learned to live with it, to own it without letting it own her. Because that's what growth looked like. Not erasure, not denial. Acknowledgement, accountability, action, every single day. And on the days when it felt too hard, when the shame crept back in, when she wondered if she'd ever be more than the worst thing she'd ever done, she remembered Evelyn's words. You're not defined by your worst moment. You're defined by what you choose to do after. And Emily chose growth. Every single day, she chose to be better. And slowly, year by year, choice by choice, She became better. Not perfect, never perfect, but better. And in the end, that was enough.